A porch thief strikes in a local neighborhood more than once. Now homeowners are on high alert.
Hundreds of body cameras and a homeless shelter. Lawmakers are set to vote on proposals that could affect your neighborhood.
To stop the far left, you must vote in tomorrow's special election.
President Trump is in North Carolina tonight, where he makes a strong push to win back the House.
Live in high definition from Fox 58 in Bakersfield, this is Eyewitness News at 10.
In 2018, postal inspectors arrested almost 2,500 suspects for stealing mail and packages. Here in Kern County, a neighborhood is concerned with the number of package thefts they've seen in past months. Some have not reported to police, but others have taken action steps.
That's right. Jeanette Quesada tells us what residents are doing to avoid having their packages stolen. Jeanette?
That's right. Well, residents I spoke to tell me they are looking at patterns among thieves and then planning ahead.
The lady across the street has had a couple packages get stolen. The people over here before, the lady that lived here before had some stuff stolen.
Emilio Hoyos wants to ensure he receives every package he orders. He's all too familiar with package theft. That's why he's left specific instructions to those delivering it.
FedEx, please leave packages inside the blue basket on the inside of the fence next to the house.
This year alone, Hoyos has had 3 packages stolen from his front porch.
It just really sucks that, we can't have the stuff that we pay for.
He didn't file a police report.
I really don't even know if the cops would respond to it.
Instead, he filed a claim with Amazon to have his package replaced. His neighbor, Jill Murphy, has decided to avoid the headache of having to deal with stolen packages.
We always just have our packages delivered to my roommate's work so that I never have to worry about anything being taken off the porch, because quite obviously we don't have much of a porch here.
Vicky Cervantes says she's also had 2 packages stolen. That's why she now has them delivered to her mom's house. Now here's how you can protect yourself. You can arrange to have a package delivered to an address where you know it will be received and it will be safe. Have your local post office hold on to your package until you can pick it up, or you can request to have a signature confirmation. Live in studio, Jeanette Quesada, Eyewitness News.
All right, thank you, Jeanette. Looking ahead, on Wednesday, the City Council is set to vote whether or not Bakersfield PD will begin adding body cameras to hundreds of officers. A city report says staff recommended the approval to provide a total of 507 of those cameras during the next few years. The cameras will cost the city nearly $3 million. According to the proposal, 210 cameras will be added in October, and through the next months, more officers would get their cameras. Police completed a year-long pilot program in June to test out different camera brands.
Tomorrow, the Board of Supervisors is expected to vote on a proposal for a homeless shelter in Bakersfield City. The proposed shelter would be built on county-owned site north of Golden State Avenue between M and O streets. It would provide housing for up to 150 homeless people. That site is about a block away from Wheel Park. The vote comes after a meeting between County Supervisors Representative Kevin McCarthy and some other local leaders last week. They met to develop a strategy to take on the homeless crisis.
Kern County has lost a hero rather. World War II veteran and California city man Henry Oshner has died. He was 96 years old. As part of the Army's 101st Airborne Division, the Screaming Eagles, Oshner landed at Normandy on D-Day. In 2017, he and 9 other veterans were awarded France's National Order of the Legion of Honor. Oshner is survived by his wife, their 4 daughters, and 2 granddaughters. Details for his funeral will be released soon.
Federal government is opening a criminal investigation into the deadly dive boat fire off the coast of Santa Barbara. According to the Associated Press, the FBI, Coast Guard, and U.S. Attorney are leading that investigation. There were 39 people on board the Conception. Only 5 survived. All of them were crew members. Yesterday, agents served search warrants at the office of the boat owners and the company's 2 other boats. No word on what they were looking for or what they found.
More than 40 people are confirmed dead in the Bahamas following Hurricane Dorian. It's been a week since the Category 5 storm tore parts of the island nation apart. Rescue workers wearing hazard suits are searching for bodies and survivors among the rubble. Relief agencies are helping deliver food and supplies. It's estimated that some 70,000 people are in need of food and shelter. Some hotels in Florida are helping the evacuees with a place to stay, even offering some prayers.
So what they went through, they feel God saved their life. So to have a minister here talking to them about how God saved their life is so touching, it's amazing.
Many Bahamians are leaving the island by boat and by plane. Today, a ferry boat came under fire for forcing people off for not having the right documentation.
Special election in North Carolina could be a test of how President Trump's 2020 campaign is resonating with voters. At a rally there tonight, the president urged the crowd to vote tomorrow for Republican Dan Bishop for a vacant House seat. He told visitors it is the first step toward winning back the House in 2020.
Tomorrow, right here in the great state of North Carolina, with your support, tomorrow we take the first steps to firing Speaker Pelosi and winning back the House in 2020.
Bishop is running against Democrat Don McCready. The president won this district in 2016. The seat has been held by Republicans for more than 50 years. Third Democratic presidential debate is only 3 days away now. 10 candidates are going to be on stage on Thursday in Houston. You can tune into Eyewitness News after the debate for the highlights.
Still to come here on Eyewitness News, do you need to get rid of some squatters? Guess what? There's an app for that. Pros and cons of this digital watchdog.
Also, Kern County and Bakersfield get a marketing makeover. The new logos giving the community a new identity.
A new app is in the works that could benefit local homeowners. It would help report and clear out squatters from neighborhoods. Bakersfield police say they get around 20 calls every month of squatters in local neighborhoods, and now a local realtor hopes his app can help police get them out of there. Emma Goss explains.
We check back here pretty frequently, and as of 2 days ago, these were the boards that were up, and as you can tell, they're pretty damaged from people prying them open and getting in.
Seven Bates lives just around the corner from this vacant house in Bakersfield's historic Westchester neighborhood. He's seen 2 house fires tear through this antique home in the past 3 months.
They're just people, it's unfortunate, but they're trying to cook a meal for themselves, and that's what is unfortunately endangering our homes and our kids.
They're squatters, homeless people living there illegally. Police have removed them numerous times, but they often return the next day, even when it's been boarded up.
We'll go out there, we'll find people. It does appear that they are trespassing. However, if we can't find the responsible party for that home, our enforcement action is very limited.
So realtor David Knobb spent the past few years developing SPA, the Squatters Prevention Act, a mobile registry for police to immediately determine who owns a given property.
It can be really stressful and a financial hardship to homeowners, and so I just thought there had to be something to do about it.
Evicting squatters often ends in litigation, which can cost as much as $26,000, according to Knobb. SPA asks property owners to pay about $90 a year for protection. Neighbors and police agree. It's a faster, cheaper means to eviction, but affordable housing is what's needed to truly fix the problem.
That app won't find housing for people that don't have it.
In Bakersfield, Emma Goss, Eyewitness News.
Kern County and Bakersfield are being rebranded to highlight the personal and business opportunities that research shows to be the area's most attractive assets. You will start to see some new blue and green logos around the area reading Kern, Grounded and Boundless. Also, Bakersfield is showcased as the sound of something better. Since 2017, several local leaders pitched in to come up with a rebranding strategy.
That we are better than the message that we were hearing. It was time to write a new narrative.
Over the last couple of years, survey data show the area stands out for its traditional roots, social mobility, welcoming attitude, and the wealth of natural resources.
Today, thousands of students, parents, and coaches gathered at Rabobank Arena for the 20th annual Kern County College Night. Hopeful high school seniors got to learn more about the opportunities available after graduation day. More than 120 colleges were there, including the military and trade schools, in addition to those colleges. In Kern County, more than 15,000 students are expected to graduate this year. About 20% of them will be going straight to a four-year university.
I think that there are a lot of diamonds in the rough and that someday that they'll shine in their own way.
Going to college means getting a better education to further my life. So you build up each generation to have a better year.
The Kern County Superintendent's Office is working with local high schools to get more students into college after they graduate.
Still ahead here on Eyewitness News, keep the money or return it. What one couple did after a costly mistake. New tonight, Matty Roberts, the Bakersfield man who started the viral Storm Area 51 event, says he's backing out of the Alien Stock Festival. That festival was organized after the notorious Facebook event captured the world's attention, with millions of people claiming that they would go. A representative for the festival sent our sister station in Las Vegas a statement citing concerns of poor infrastructure, planning, and risk management. The Little Ailey Inn Motel in Rachel, Nevada says that they're expecting to hold a festival there, expecting as many as 10,000 people, in fact, to be camping on their property.
A Philadelphia couple is facing charges after allegedly spending money that was accidentally deposited into their bank account. Police say the couple had $120,000 deposited into the account through a mistake by a bank teller, but instead of reporting the mistake, the couple went on a shopping spree. They spent most of the money in 2.5 weeks buying several toys, including an SUV and a camper. They even paid off some debt, gave friends some money. Neighbors were shocked.
I wouldn't do that and check in with the bank first before I did anything. I'm not that dumb, but I mean, yeah, some people do stupid things sometimes.
I think he's just mad they didn't share with him. The bank ended up transferring the money to the right account and worked out a payment plan for the couple to pay back the money they spent, but they never paid anything back. The couple is now facing felony theft charges.
Well, the first time in history, in the history of the Army, I should say, 2 sisters have earned the rank of general. While fathers and sons have risen to general in the past, the 2 sisters are the first to reach this honor. Major General Maria Bennett is the commanding general of NETCOM. Her younger sister, Brigadier General Paul Lodi, is the Deputy Chief of Staff for Operations at the Office of the Surgeon General.
Now, your Weather Authority forecast.
Now back to that other story, it shouldn't matter how much money it is because we've all gotten an extra $5 at the drive-thru and just kept it. $120,000, that's the teller's fault. Taking a look at Bakersfield right now, you see the 99 moving across very smoothly, and taking a look at those headlights coming towards us, you see them as pretty clear dots, and that means that our air quality is looking pretty good, not as much haze to blur them up. Nice and crisp. 77 degrees right now in Bakersfield with a light breeze, a little bit of humidity. Feels like 78. It was so nice when I drove back from dinner. Had to have the windows down. Normally an AC guy, but today it was windows down. 87 was our high today. 5 degrees below our normal, and you see our low was a little bit below normal as well. So overall, a seasonably cool day here in Bakersfield. 59 degrees right now in Tehachapi, 74 in Ridgecrest, 71 over in Edwards, and 60 over there in Gorman. You can see our temperature change here. We're actually a little bit warmer than we were this time yesterday. Yesterday was actually an exceptionally chilly day. But you do see some areas in the desert that are a little chillier, even Fresno a couple of degrees cooler. Santa Barbara's weather has finally been fixed. They are now only 1 degree cooler than yesterday. But things are going to continue to cool down as that low pressure system that's behind the one that just got out of town sinks down into the valley. And you see right here, I want you to look, these low pressure systems, they rotate counterclockwise. And so what happens is all this cool air that's up here in the Pacific Northwest, when that low pressure system sinks, it's rotating this way. So it rotates counterclockwise straight into Bakersfield, and that's why we're going to get that cool air. We're not going to get any of that rain that you're seeing in the Pac Northwest, but what we are going to get is wind. That always comes with cool air, just about anyway. Taking a look right here, you see things are going to pick up a little bit in the early morning hours, which is not typical. Usually things die down then for us, but then watch them. They're going to rise back. They're going to go down and then rise back up again tomorrow morning and then spring up really big in the afternoon and evening. And they're going to linger. They're not going to die down as much as we usually see. And over in the mountains and the deserts, it's going to be particularly rough. Air quality is going to be gorgeous for the next few days. Can't say enough about that, so I'll just leave it there. 7-day forecast, we're looking at 83 degrees for our high tomorrow here in Bakersfield, 86 the next day. Take a look at those overnight lows, 60 and 62 for the next 2 days. We might get back up to triple digits on Saturday, but that is something that we'll have to just watch as we go. In the mountains, looking at 69 tomorrow, 74 the next day. We'll ignore the rest until we get there. And over in the Kern River Valley, 75 tomorrow and 82 the next day. So a couple more seasonably cool days, then we kind of get back to normal, but we'll get there when we get there.
Let's hope we get there. All right. Thank you for that, Jeff. Couple in South Carolina went out looking for some seashells left behind by Hurricane Dorian. They ended up finding a Civil War era cannonball on the beach. The couple said that they are new to the area and they're happy they stumbled upon a piece of history.
Es un tesoro histórico.
It's a historical treasure. It's the history of here in Charleston. Of course, after we found it, we wanted to tell the world.
The couple reported it, and police made sure that the cannonball was not still live and dangerous. Following Hurricane Matthew in 2016, 16 Civil War cannonballs were found in that same location.
Still ahead here on Eyewitness News, a cargo ship capsizes, trapping the crew. The extrication rescue effort to get them out safely. This evening, the Coast Guard rescued 4 trapped men from a capsized cargo ship in Georgia. Fox News correspondent David Lee Miller has the details.
The Coast Guard finds 4 crew members alive after they were trapped inside a massive cargo ship that overturned in Georgia's St. Simon Sound. Rescuers rappelled down the side of the Golden Ray and drilled a hole through the hull to contact the missing crew.
Once we got the first 3-inch hole in today, they were able to be passed water, and we were able to get them food and some fresh air.
All South Korean nationals believed to be trapped in the ship's engine room. 1 American, 6 South Koreans, and 13 Filipinos have already been rescued. The vessel flipped on its side early Sunday and is stuck in a shipping channel. It was transporting 4,000 cars bound for the Middle East. A fire burning on the ship, along with its unstable cargo, has hampered rescue efforts. Authorities say they're concerned not only about saving lives, but with the environment as well.
In addition to the ongoing search and rescue operations, we also have pollution mitigation efforts in the works. Currently, I would say there is no active release of pollution.
The nearby port of Brunswick was closed to boat traffic, and a safety zone was established in the Sound. Ships were not authorized within a half a mile of the Golden Ray. It's not clear what has caused the mishap. One possibility is bad weather. Hurricane Dorian passed through the region last week. In New York, David Lee Miller, Fox News.
Separate pharma and state.
Anti-vaxxers made their voices heard in Sacramento today. They were not happy about a couple of vaccine bills that were signed into law by Governor Newsom today. The bills crack down on doctors who write fraudulent medical exemptions for school children's vaccinations. The new law will be enforced beginning next year.
Purdue Pharma is expected to file for bankruptcy as settlement talks with state attorney generals break down. At first, the company offered between $10 and $12 billion in settlements to thousands of lawsuits accusing the firm of pushing their painkiller Oxycontin. However, Purdue and the states were not able to reach an agreement. This is leading experts to believe the pharma company will file for bankruptcy. If it does, everyone suing them will have to battle in bankruptcy court for the company's remaining assets.
Coming up here, Kern County is supporting a move that would close some crime loopholes in the state, creating tougher laws. I'll have a breakdown of the new initiative that's going to be on your ballot. District Attorney's Office and the Mayor's Office are taking a tough stance on crime after announcing their support for a new initiative that's set to be on the 2020 ballot. It's looking into making 3 key changes. The first is to create tougher laws on people who commit thefts that stifle business.
The second change would close a loophole that currently allows inmates convicted of violent crimes to be released on early parole, being labeled as non-violent offenders. And the third change would ensure DNA collection from convicted criminals even if they've committed certain misdemeanor crimes. Raina Harvey spoke with local groups about the new law and tells us why they support the push.
Crime in the last 18 months has been horrific.
For In Your Wildest Dreams, consignment store owner Dixie Brewer, it's been less than a dream being a business owner in downtown Bakersfield.
Came in and were vandalized. We came in when windows were broken, and it just was repeated weekly until it became to the point to where we couldn't take it any longer.
After not one, two, but several break-ins, she was fed up.
It makes one want to close their doors when we can't get any really local political help or anything like that.
Mayor Karen Go and District Attorney Cynthia Zimmer claim the uptick in crime is because of recent changes to the law, citing AB 109 and Prop 47.
Since the voters voted in Prop 47 and other reform measures, we've seen the unintended consequences that have been impacting communities all through California.
District Attorney Zimmer says if their initiative is passed, they can hold more thieves accountable.
Aims to close some of the loopholes that we have seen since some of the decriminalization of our laws. Now this gives us the tools that we need because we can prosecute people for felony crimes if they have prior theft convictions.
In addition to prior convictions and closing loopholes, Zimmer also wants DNA collected from convicted criminals to be permitted as evidence.
This is one small step in the right direction.
In Bakersfield, Raina Harvey, Eyewitness News.
The man who led police on a wild RV chase with young children last year has been sentenced to more than 88 years in prison. Stephen Merle Houck was convicted last month of kidnapping, child abuse, and other charges. He was arrested in May of last year after being on the run for 2 days. He escaped into a Bakersfield orchard after leading police on a 100-mile chase in his RV. It began in Hollywood. His children were inside. They were not hurt. Investigators say the incident started after Houck fought with his wife and threatened to kill her.
The Fox Theater is honoring David Marcus with a star on the Walk of Stars this weekend. David Marcus, of course, you'll remember, died in June after receiving treatment after battling cancer many times. He inspired many in Bakersfield to keep fighting, though. Marcus even received words of encouragement from President Trump. The public is invited to the unveiling of Marcus's star this Saturday, 10:30 in the morning at the Fox Theater. Donations will be collected for his Thumbs Up Cancer Down Scholarship Foundation.
One Book Project is celebrating its 18th annual community read here in Kern County. The entire community is invited to read and discuss the selected titles this fall. The event runs through September 9th and it will end on October 31st.
The goal is to take the themes of the book and to have a discussion on a local level. How one person's ability to change an entire community, that can be localized and talk about our community, and we can see how those themes affect us.
Activities like book and panel discussions, family story, crafts, and film screenings will also take place at this year's One Book Project.
A lawmaker is now urging the government to take immediate action when it comes to vaping after hundreds report lung illnesses that could be linked to e-cigarettes. Mandy Gaither has more.
Stop vaping. That's the message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Now, Illinois Senator Dick Durbin is urging the FDA to take immediate action.
Previously healthy young people are getting seriously ill because our Food and Drug Administration in Washington has failed to protect them from the dangers of e-cigarettes.
Durbin calling for the FDA to regulate e-cigarettes, ban flavoring, and restrict deceptive marketing that he says is aimed at the young. Monday, the FDA sent 2 letters to leading e-cigarette maker Juul Labs, warning the company about illegally marketing its product as a safer alternative to cigarettes. A Juul spokesperson says, "We are reviewing the letters and will fully cooperate." The e-cigarette company has maintained its products are intended to convert adult smokers to what it described in the past as a less harmful alternative.
Can one really say with a straight face that e-cigarette flavors like Gummy Bear, Citrazing, Surf Cake, and Unicorn Milk are meant for 50-year-old chain smokers to stop smoking cigarettes?
The CDC reports at least 450 possible cases of severe lung disease across 33 states that could be linked to vaping, including 5 deaths. I'm Mandy Gaither reporting.
And take a live look at the Capitol tonight, where members of the Congress returned to work today. Big order of business for the Democrats is going to be stopping gun violence. Democratic leaders urged Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to bring a House-backed bill on background checks to the Senate floor. McConnell has said that he will only put something up for a vote if it has the president's support.
There isn't anyone in this institution or anywhere else in public life whose political survival is more important than the survival of our children and the safety of our communities. We are not taking no for an answer. We're not going away.
A new poll shows 89% of Americans support background checks on all gun sales. More than half support a nationwide ban on military-style assault weapons.
Still to come here on Eyewitness News, this is what you call a smooth ride. What one driver saw on the highway that made him want to pull over. President Trump says peace talks with the Taliban are now dead. In a series of tweets over the weekend, the president announced he had called off a secret meeting with Taliban leaders at Camp David Sunday. The Taliban claimed responsibility for a suicide bombing in Kabul last week that killed a U.S. service member.
As far as I'm concerned, they're dead. They thought that they had to kill people in order to put themselves in a little better negotiating position. When they did that, they killed 12 people. One happened to be a great American soldier.
This was the 16th U.S. service member to be killed in combat in Afghanistan this year. Talks between the U.S. and the Taliban have been going on for nearly 1 year.
Today, President Trump presented the nation's highest award for public safety to 6 Ohio officers who took down a gunman during last month's shooting rampage.
Faced with grave and harrowing threats, the men and women standing behind us stepped forward to save the lives of their fellow Americans. Few people could have done and even would have done what they did.
The president awarded the officers the Medal of Valor. 9 people were killed and more than 24 were hurt in the early morning attack on August 4th. The gunman was shot and killed within a minute of opening fire.
On Friday, a judge will sentence actress Felicity Huffman for her role in a college admissions cheating scandal. Huffman pled guilty to conspiring to pay $15,000 to fake a charity to rig her daughter's SAT scores. In a letter to the judge, the Desperate Housewives star wrote that her desperation to be a good mother led to her actions. Her lawyers are asking for probation, community service, and a fine. Prosecutors suggest 4 months in prison and a $20,000 fine.
Well, yet another one of these Tesla drivers to tell you about. A Massachusetts man recorded this one. He saw it on the freeway. Man hunched over, fast asleep in a self-driving Tesla. Passenger next to him, she's also catching some Z's. The driver says he tried to wake them up, even honking his horn.
I thought, well, I should record this, and then I thought I shouldn't record this because it's also unsafe, but it was just so bizarre that I was like, I have to get this on video because it's so strange.
State police say there's no law against falling asleep at the wheel if you're in a self-driving car, but it's not a great thing to do. Tesla tells its drivers that they should always be ready to take control of the vehicle.
Well, still to come up here on Eyewitness News, Frosties and eggs. The new additions coming to the Wendy's menu.
You'll soon be able to get some bacon with your Frosty, folks. Next year, Wendy's is going to roll out breakfast at all stores nationwide. Menu will feature items like a breakfast Baconator. That's right, I said Baconator. And Frosty Cino? What? Frosty Chino? Is that kind of like a cappuccino? Anyway, Wendy's is hiring 20,000 new employees across the country to make all this happen. That's about 3 to 4 new employees per restaurant.
Now, your Weather Authority forecast.
Now we know how many people it takes to make breakfast. Apparently 20,000. I've been doing it myself all these years. Taking a look at our temperature across the nation, you can see Phoenix, the hot spot right now at 94 degrees. And I only laugh because, as I say all the time, I used to live there and I find it hilarious that it's still that hot there right now. 84 degrees in Miami, still pretty sweltering down there. You see actually a lot of heat down in the southeastern portion of the country here, but cooler temperatures coming our way from the north there. And so let's take a look at something a little more local. These are today's highs: 87 here in Bakersfield, 72 in Tehachapi, 95 in Ridgecrest, 90 over down there at Edwards Air Force Base, and 87, 88 Hanford and Fresno, even Visalia in that same mix at 86. Bakersfield 4 degrees warmer right now than we were this time yesterday. So a little bit warmer, but that trend about to change. Taking a look at our dew points, you can see everyone in the 40s here, which is good news. 40s are extremely comfortable. It's just enough humidity that it's not dry and not enough humidity that it actually feels humid. So talk about comfortability. So what's happening right now is we're going to have a low pressure system kind of sink in from the Pacific Northwest over the next 12 hours or so. And for you at home, a low pressure system rotates counterclockwise. And so what's going to happen is you see all this moisture up here. That air, that cool air, as this sinks down, is going to sink and then also rotate counterclockwise, kind of smack straight into Bakersfield from the coast. So it's also going to pick up some of that coastal air. We're not going to get any of the moisture, but we will definitely get the cool air, and we will get the wind from all that rotation. You see actually pretty good winds picking up as we go into the early morning hours out in the desert. Even here in town, normally we'd see this be calm at 4 a.m., but tonight and tomorrow morning, really, you're going to see it 5, 6, 7 miles an hour. So watch as we go into the later part of tomorrow morning. Everything's going to flare up by the early part of the afternoon, and then it comes back down. But again, we're looking at wind speeds at night that are a little quicker than we're used to. Just in case people are heading out of town, I know summer's over, but still, hey, we travel here in Bakersfield. 67 degrees tomorrow in San Francisco, 59 if you're headed up to Tahoe, and it'll warm up from there. Monterey is going to stay pretty consistent around 70 for the next couple days, with Yosemite basically mirroring Tahoe, doing a pretty steep climb from 57 to 75 just over a few days. Morro Bay starting the week at 68 and then ending it at 80, with Pismo starting at 73 and ending at 80. Santa Maria starting at 73, climbing all the way to 87. Santa Barbara a little more, we'll call it consistent, going from 74 up to 81 by Friday. Santa Monica and LA going to stay right around 75, 80 pretty much the entire week there. And then Huntington and San Diego, this is what Huntington and San Diego do best. 74, 75, 79, 77, 81. Can't beat that, and it's never going to change. Taking a look at South Valley 7-day forecast, see 83 our projected high for tomorrow. That's right, 83 is your projected high, not the 7 a.m. temperature, not the overnight low. No, that is your high temperature for tomorrow, and then 86 on Wednesday. So a nice little mini fall here when you mix in today and yesterday. 4 straight days of 80-degree weather, not too bad. Going to get back up to triple digits on Saturday and 99 on Friday. Going up 10 degrees from Wednesday to Thursday, that's something we're going to want to be careful about. Shocks the body a little when you go up 10 degrees in one day. Up in the mountains, 69 tomorrow, 74 the next day. And over in the Kern River Valley, 75 tomorrow, 82 the next day, and then up into the low and mid-90s for a few days there. But it looks like everything's going to get back down to these fall-time temperatures Monday, and we'll see if we could get a good stretch going there. If we do, and we'll need Miles to come back to confirm this, but that, if we get a second good stretch of cool air, that might be the end of hundreds.
Yeah.
Might.
All right. I love it. Mini fall. Sports is coming up next. We'll be right back.
Now, Eyewitness News Sports with Greg Kerr.
Well, Greg, the theatrics are almost done, I suppose.
Yeah, there'll still be the questions, and they'll talk about all the theatrics. But, yeah, the Raiders are trying to put it behind them. And they did for a night with HBO and Hard Knocks behind them. Antonio Brown also behind them. Oakland Raiders opening the 2019 season, hoping they can show and put the drama behind them and win some football games this year. Leading the way, BCHS product, Derek Carr, quarterback. Hosting Denver, and Carr 5 for 5 in a 72-yard drive in the first drive of the game. This one to Terrell Williams, bullet into the end zone, 7-0 in favor of the Raiders. Second quarter, the rookie, Josh Jacobs, going up and over. He had 2 touchdowns. Raiders led 14-0 at half. And then John Gruden takes a victory lap with hugs all around, as you're about to see here, as the Raiders win their opener 24-16. Carr, 22-26, 259 yards. He was not sacked. Saints fans just won't let go, will they? Wearing those referee uniforms from last year's NFC Championship game against the Rams. Great catches by Will Fuller. A suplex tackle here by DeAndre Hopkins. But what it was a great finish. Deshaun Watson to Kenny Stills. They stun the Saints and take the lead with under a minute to go. But they left time on the clock. Drew Brees got him into field goal range, or at least Will Lutz range. 58 yards. And the Saints win a wild one by a final of 30-28. Well, week 4 of the high school football season kicking off with a pair of Thursday games, followed by the usual flurry of action on Friday. The Garces Rams, they will wait until Saturday. They're good at waiting, by the way. Been waiting for this guy, quarterback Joseph Campbell, to make his debut after coming down with valley fever. The Rams, 2 games, 0 points. Campbell should change that in a hurry as they travel to San Joaquin Memorial.
Joe's one of the special quarterbacks I've ever been around. Just his intelligence, his competitiveness, his football IQ. So, you know, it's the offense that we've been practicing since summer and spring. So hopefully, you know, our all the guys will remember how to run it.
Can you talk about what it's going to feel like for you to get on that field for the first time?
I know I'm going to be ready. I'm used to it. It's my 3rd year. I should be ready. Bye week was huge because we got to practice the whole week with Joseph prior. So now he seems ready, and I hope it all works out for us.
All right, it's all week 4, hometown sports. David Ortiz is back in Boston after nearly dying as a result of gunshot wounds in his native country of Dominican Republic. Ortiz, former Red Sox great, throwing out the first pitch today, receiving a huge ovation from the crowd and his former teammates. Red Sox Big Papi addressing the crowd tonight.
I want to thank God for giving me a second opportunity in my life to be able to be here with all of you. I want to thank the Red Sox, my real family. They always have been there for me, supporting me. They were aware of what happened to me, and they were the first one there supporting me. Thank you very much, Red Sox family.
Well, let's go to by the way, they lost to the Yankees tonight, 5-0. Astros, A's, Alex Bregman, deep, 3-run shot, 3-0 in favor of the Astros. Jordan Alvarez goes yard. He wasn't done yet, by the way. Wait till later. And then a 3rd homer. Did we mention we're still in the 1st inning? Yeah, we are. Later in the game, Alvarez, his 2nd homer of the game, and you got to check this thing out. This thing traveled. I mean, this went in the upper deck. And those who are there say that ball never goes up there. Well, it did this time. The upper deck, Astros crushed the A's 15-0. That's one day after they scored 21 against Seattle. So I'd say the offense is in a groove. Mets and Diamondbacks, each chasing the Cubs for a 2nd wild card. And by the way, the Cubs won in San Diego tonight. Pete Alonso going deep, his 46th. And then repeat. Alonso does it again, his 47th. Mets win 3-1. Alonso has reached base in 34 straight games. He's setting rookie record after rookie record with the Mets.
Man.
Each and every time he goes out. But the Mets still 4 back of the Cubbies for that 2nd wild card chase. They inch closer to the Diamondbacks. They got to jump the Diamondbacks and still catch the Cubbies. Time's running short, Mr. Met fan.
I told Dave earlier, if we win every game we have left, I think we might make it.
Okay. Okay, that doesn't sound too good. We'll see.
That's a Met fan.
All right.
Pete Alonso have to hit 2 home runs in every game you have.
And that might still not be enough.
Yeah. And that'll do it for us, folks. Thanks for watching Eyewitness News here at 10 o'clock.
Have a good night.
Good night.